on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fandoms Anonymous. We're here today to talk about something that's been going on a whole lot lately. It's, the talk of Disney buying the Fox properties, and the deal is almost done. The deal is written in stone. The deal has been finished, but they're ironing out the fine print. They're writing down everybody's name, like Santa Claus checking to see who's naughty and who's nice, and it will just be days or even a couple of weeks before we can hear a final announcement, a public announcement that Fox has sold the movie rights on some of their properties over to Disney. Now, with that being said, what we're excited about here at Fandoms Anonymous is the fact that X-Men and the Fantastic Four properties will be coming home to the MCU, and it will be beautiful. But the question is, how? Now, what we're going to talk about today is, this is going to be a two-part video. The first part, now we're going to talk about ways to bring the X-Men into the MCU. We're going to do another video talking about ways to bring Fantastic Four into the MCU. The reason I separated is because we're talking about two different teams with two different ideologies, with two different ways that, and two different ways that they formed, how they were created, who they are as a whole. So it's good to do two separate videos. So let's talk about X-Men. Now, at first I was going to name this 5 ways, but I couldn't think of 5 ways, and I didn't want to just fake 2 more ways, so I only have 3, and that's fine. So the first way is the events of Infinity War, using either the Reality Stone or the Time Stone. Now, we know the Reality Stone can help warp reality. It can change reality. It can give you a thought or presence of another reality. And that is one way that they can bring the X-Men into the MCU. Thanos could somehow use the Reality Stone during the movie, at the end of the movie, or any part of the movie, and then it possibly be a scene in the movie where we see the X-Men, or it could possibly be an end credit scene where we can see the X-Men, and we can see something about mutants or something along that nature. It could be the Time Stone. They could be trapped in another timeline or trapped in another time period, and they go and get the X-Men and bring them to the future. There are so many possibilities, but that was one of the first things I could think of as far as a way to bring the X-Men into the MCU. One of the second things I had is the Captain Marvel movie. As we know, Captain Marvel is supposed to be put in the 1990s. So that means Captain Marvel has been somewhere hiding since this whole time. All of the events that have passed, with everything with Nick Fury, everything with the MCU, with Thanos and the stones and all the cosmic stuff and all of the Winter Soldier and the Hydra stuff. Captain Marvel is in this universe. Where is she? Somewhere in hiding. So the X-Men could possibly somewhere in hiding, and we don't know where they are. And due to Captain Marvel, in that movie, we could see the X-Men back in the 90s, possibly. We could see them around that time period, around the time period with the Skrulls. There's no telling how in this universe or in this time period, if they were to do it like that, that the X-Men, or what reason they were given to go into hiding. So that's another example. Now, one of the last things I had was, lately they've been saying that Ant-Man and the Wasp is really going to be dealing with the whole multiverse aspect. So what I can really and truly see is that when Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, when they're going into the quantum realm, into the multiverse to go get and save Janet, that they could possibly open up some type of realm or portal or whatever, and the X-Men are trapped in it, and then they're brought forward into the actual universe where everything else is going on right now at that time. Again, it reminds me of that scene we got on the Flash TV show when Barry first ran through the Speed Force and he saw Smallville, scenes of Smallville. He saw scenes of the future. He saw Caitlin as Killer Frost in the future. He saw Supergirl on her Earth. He saw so many different things that were part of the multiverse. The multiverse is definitely another way to bring the X-Men in. Now, why is it so hard to bring the X-Men in? It's because they're mutants. A lot of people don't like mutants. If we look through the comics, they're a team that are not really liked. They do just as much as the Avengers, but because of who they are and their whole mutant rights and mutant agenda and the hate on mutants, they don't get a lot of the accolades that they should get. So it would be puzzling if they just fuddled it over and it'd be like, okay, where were the mutants? Where was the uproar? Because if you watched the 90s X-Men show and read the earlier comic books, it was hate mutants this, hate mutants that. get rid of mutants, eradicate mutants. So you would wonder where that plot or that storyline came from. So it's not going to be easy to bring the X-Men into the MCU, but I feel like Kevin Feige, with who he is, you cannot tell me that Kevin Feige has not been sitting somewhere having the individual people writing scripts for X-Men and writing prototypes and things of that nature, just in case a time like this happens. So Kevin Feige is a very, very smart man, and that is why the MCU does as well as it is doing right now. So I want to know your thoughts. How do you think the X-Men can be brought into the MCU? Let's talk about it. Give me some facts. Give me some movies. Give me some things that you think are the reason that it could be brought into the MCU. And let's have that discussion on the comments below, whether you're watching this on Facebook or if you're watching this on YouTube. It doesn't matter. We're all family. Fandoms Anonymous is all the same on both platforms. Let me know in the comments below, like I said before, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.